That's funny.
All right, we're preparing the live stream. Darius, you want to lead the meeting today?
He does.
I
That's what he
can,
told
of
me
course.
before you came on.
I think
Okay.
Dan wants to do it today. He's like,
Mm-mm.
show everyone
Sure
your
do
new
not.
microphone.
Sure do not. Mm-mm.
How do I
You got this.
We're live.
Let's how about we go in order of years in the industry between the three of us. So we'll go Darius, Joe, me, right?
Well, we're live, so we can start.
Great.
Now.
I love it.
I'll send you guys.
So maybe our guests will introduce themselves. Like today is a different panel because we just decided that we would go live, and whoever DMs us real quick will get the thing going. So we got Brian, Noah, and Dan over here. So if you guys, maybe we'll start with Brian. If you can just do a quick introduction, and then Noah and Daniel can introduce themselves too.
All right, I'm Brian Gandell. If you don't know who I am, I'm sorry, and hopefully it stays that way. So,
Oh,
How am I
After you
supposed to
start.
follow after that? How am I
Wow.
supposed to follow that?
it's so easy. It's
Really,
so easy.
Brian?
You should say words.
Well, apparently it's my job.
That's hard. Noah, please take it away.
Okay, well, I'm Noah. I've been designing for as long as Dan has. But I go to Syracuse. I design at Syracuse. Very fun stuff.
Noah, you've been doing cool shit since you were in high school. Like the fact that you're still in college is like, it's not fair when you graduate the number of job offers and opportunities you're going to have. So just fuck you a little bit.
I appreciate it.
wow! I
Only a
put
little.
not safe for work tag on this. Just kidding. Go. Are we good?
Dan's going.
Oh, fine, I'll go. What's up? My name is Daniel. I'm a graphic designer for the Carolina Panthers. I, like Noah said, have been doing this for 6 or 7 years, maybe. So it's been a minute, but you know, I feel pretty good. I turned 14 yesterday, if anybody's asking. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's me in a nutshell.
No, this is me.
Nice.
Oh, I'm in a nutshell. How did I get into this giant nutshell?
Is it too early to leave now, or?
Walk
You-
out.
I'm
You're
sorry.
good.
I've been drinking
Yeah.
since 9 a.m.
This is an
Nice. Hey, I
opt-out
appreciate
call,
that.
so you're free to dip as soon as you want
Okay,
to.
just- you-
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
you're all good.
This is what COVID has done to me, like for the cry for human interaction.
Oh, Chris is here.
Oh, is he? Money.
A new challenger.
Hey, so our circle of friends is spreading.
We are complete.
We're all waiting.
What you
Yeah,
got in
for
there,
the other
Goldfarb?
3 dudes that didn't introduce themselves, we're designing sports, and we hope that everyone's enjoying these panels and everything.
What's up?
What up?
Who are you? What's your name? Explain yourself.
And why are you late?
Sorry.
You have a
I
note.
didn't realize it was live. I was waiting for you guys to send like a date or something, and I was like, "Whoa, it's live!" All right, so I was like, "Okay, let me hop on." But yeah, I'm Chris Munoz, senior designer, UTSA.
Very
I mean,
on
we talk all
brand.
the
Welcome
time,
back.
guys. Come on.
I like it. Hey, it's not for us. It's for the viewers at home.
True.
How many people are viewing this right now?
Tens
11.
of thousands. The last. Oh, yeah.
We got our
Hello,
first
We
hello.
already
question.
have one.
We got our first question.
We
This one's
already
for
have one
Daniel.
question. Yeah.
This person's a huge fan of yours, and he wants to know, do you like your roommate? His name's Jordan Herald.
So this is my first time being on here. Do I have to answer every question that comes my way, or can I respectfully pass?
Like,
You can
If
pass.
at any point you feel
Constitutionally obligated.
uncomfortable at a question
Oh, I
asked,
am? Okay.
we can actually kick them out.
yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Jordan is someone I would rate him 2 thumbs down. It's been horrible. I hate it. He I don't want to go into any more detail, but that's it.
So the same
So you're
Jordan
happy
Herald
he's-
asked if you can name 3 Yankee players off the top of your head.
No, so funny story about this hat. First of all, I want to preface, I'm actually a Pirates fan.
Okay.
Shout out to my guy Noah. But I bought this hat because of the aesthetic of it. You know what I mean? First of all, this fit right now goes crazy, right? We got the navy, then we got the navy. So it's all about building
It looks like
blocks.
black.
You know what I mean?
Your shirt looks black.
That
It looks like you're wearing navy
the
and black.
lighting, the
Can you
lighting.
catwalk
is
it for
gonna
us? Do you mind catwalking?
who's
Oh
that?
my gosh, we couldn't even see his
Oh,
face. Wow, wait.
Wait,
What
come
kind of
back, come
a
back.
Photo bomb.
half-ass drive-by was that? Show your face.
Oh, I don't know what's going on.
Wow.
Wow. Well,
That's
excited to have everybody.
yeah. Even the photo bombing
Yeah.
people.
Crazy.
Oh,
I haven't met Dan and Noah yet, so that's cool.
Chris,
Huge
what's up, man?
fan.
Chris,
Dan,
I
with
love your
Panthers.
artboards.
Oh, thanks, man. I take pride in that a little bit. Yeah.
I know you do, and I would too, man. They're the cleanest out there. Seriously.
I'm very systematic that way, so it's like my OCD is kind of
So
Kicks
let
in
me
on
ask you
those.
this: when you work like that, does being so organized really streamline efficiency for you? Is that something that you've had to kind of develop as well, or is it something that you've always just kind of been that way?
I kind of always just been that way. Yeah, but it's definitely to streamline stuff. That's just there's
Yeah.
only 2 of us really at UTSA, so it's like with like 14 sports asking for stuff, it's like
Mhm.
I got to create things that I can easily just update with my artboards for different sizes and then change the text on them with smart objects, and it's just like sending them out as fast as I can so I can worry on the big picture things and just you know, little wallpapers and stuff that they want just to promote.
I'm
So,
gonna be honest though, resizing graphics at different sizes for social media or for whatever is probably my least favorite thing about what I
Right.
do. I don't know why, I just don't like it at all. It's not
yeah,
fun.
yeah. It's very
Artboards with
tedious.
smart
So that's why.
objects.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah,
Darius
it's-
says they don't work anymore.
What'd you say, Dan?
Did I lag? Did you not catch it?
No, there was other people talking.
Oh, my bad. Darius apparently has a good story about artboards because they don't work for his Photoshop any longer.
Really?
Yeah, I updated to the newest version, and then everything just went gray, and I had 16 different sizes to do
Oh, damn.
at the same time. And I'm like, when the pandemic started, I moved to a kind of a secure location in a forest, so the internet over here isn't too good. And I had to downgrade to a lower version of Photoshop, and the first thing it does, it deletes the one that you have on your hard drive. So
Yeah.
at that point, I was looking at 1% for 15 minutes, and then it kind of started and got me, after an hour, I had 9%, but you know, a few hours and I got artboards to work. And it's crazy that people like, we get addicted to certain features so much, because right now I wouldn't really want to do so many resolutions on different files, and it's just so much easier when it's like the same design in different sizes in those artboards. Like, for me, it was a game changer when I started using them, you know, religiously, because a lot of this social stuff has to be done in so many sizes, and I really hate it, like Dan said, because most of that stuff doesn't work in those different like the different arrangements and compositions and everything. So I love the time when everything was a square, or you know, we were doing
Yeah.
widescreen wallpapers for your desktop, and it was like always 16:9 or something.
Right.
It'd be really nice if every social platform moved to just like one size of
Right.
image. Like, I know Instagram's got their square thing. Okay, fine. So if we're all going to build images for Instagram, Twitter should get on board with just having their square preview. Like, it's not that hard, guys. Come on, play nice.
Right.
And make it a lot easier on us social people. That'd be really, really. The same with the
Coding.
profile and header graphics. Like, could we have just like one universal profile and header image that just works across every social platform, like that'd be so nice.
Also,
If
what
there's something-
happened to go for
Go
it?
ahead.
I was gonna say, what happened to? I feel like they were hyping up video in the social headers for the longest time, and then all of a sudden it just died, and nobody uses video in their headers.
Yeah. I didn't even know
I
that
think
was a
like
thing.
Facebook had that where you
Facebook had
can
it.
put a slideshow, you could put a video, you can put different things. I was like, that's you don't want to give coaches those options because they're gonna like try to be creative and all that stuff. But yeah, man, that's why I just, even though I had to learn trial and error with these artboards, is like I just tried to do a lot when I first started. Like I just got so infatuated with it. Like I'm gonna create a bunch of artboards and have them all ready, and then it's just like file size got too big, and then it's too slow to open. So it's like I had to figure out how to condense it and just find the actual sizes that are like pretty universal throughout each social media. So it's because just knock those out, and then I still get it from communications like, well, I need this size, and it's like, well, you don't need it, you just want it. So it's like, I'm just trying to knock this stuff out for you so you could get it quicker instead of keep sending me revisions because you don't like something. So it's like just trying to knock it out, streamline it.
A cool thing with artboards is like you're doing a schedule design, right? And you have those 16 different versions, and you can just make that one thing convert to smart layer, and then you just update that in one place, and all 16 get updated at the same time. And it's like, it's magic. It's so beautiful.
Yes.
And it's not like moving that one logo pixel here, pixel there, and then changing the date and whatever. And then your client says, oh, on those two sizes you forgot to change the date, or you forgot to change the time. And it's like, no, I did that, but it was 3 hours ago, and it took so much time for me.
I do appreciate in the new version of Photoshop, in the new release, that you can deconvert smart objects back into layers really easily.
Yeah, that's new.
In the file you're working with them. That is a nice update. I do like that.
Yeah,
it's those little things like that, the smart objects. I use that for all my game day stuff. So each week when there's an opponent, I just change the opponent on one of them, and it just updates all of them. I could just knock that out, and I can focus more on the design than just the little schematic things where if I were to try to update each one, and it's happened to me plenty of times, like I'm going to forget a time, I'm going to forget, misspell something. So it's just like trying to figure out the fastest way to get this stuff out and without, messing up your designs or trying to focus on that,
Yeah, no, it's funny that you say all that organizational stuff in college athletics, because I'm right with you. It's like Akshay is kind of getting us on this whole stream with CC libraries, which is good because I don't know why we weren't doing it before.
Right.
But we have all of our like color swatches being sent around to marketing people now, and it's just so helpful when it comes down to it, because we weren't doing that before for some reason, and I don't know why. I think people just didn't really know how to use the programs well.
Right.
But now that we're all at home, people have taken to it. So yeah, that organization is clutch because we are working on like 16 or 17 different athletic teams. It's like, it's tough.
Do you guys name your layers and group things in folders?
Yes.
Folder?
I do.
Yes.
There's
two types of Photoshop users. There's the people who like meticulously name layers and group folders and have things hyper organized and super easy to look through. And then there's the person who's got like 4,000 layers and 3/4 of them have actually no pixels on them whatsoever. It's just a fucking mess.
But Brian, I feel like there's a weird medium for me, because usually I would say I'm more of the organized type, but when I'm working on something that I get requests and it needs to be done in an hour, and I'm the only one looking at that file, I'm just going to make the graphic, send it off, and like never see it again. So if you look at those files versus ones that I'm taking my time with, I think there's a huge discrepancy.
Right.
But that's a problem also, like in a moment, like the more you work on this stuff, it's like at some point your client says, oh, you remember that design, please send me the PSD or whatever, because we have or maybe you're not there and someone else has to work on it. So I would say for me, it's always organization, but also it's a double-edged sword, because sometimes it makes me slower in a way, like, oh, I didn't name this layer, I didn't do this or that. And then I'm like, okay, so is organizing stuff more important than doing good work? And then I'm getting in my head and kind of lost and everything. But I released a PSD today. I'm not sure if you guys were able to download it, but that's the fun thing also by always being organized, because yesterday I had this idea and today I opened this file from 2 years ago and it was organized and I was like, okay, so this is going to take me 5 minutes to prepare this for people. And for me, organizing is always the way to go. And I just love when stuff is like, perfect with that.
It's as much for me as it is for other people using the file, because it's like I'll open a file and I'll go, "What the fuck did I do with
Yeah.
this?"
That's
It's
how
like,
I
can't
am. So,
remember.
yeah, I always treat it like if somebody else is going to use it. So it's a habit thing. You just, once I got used to it, it's like I have my content folder here, my background here, everything inside that. So it's like I got used to it, but I always just treat it like if my director's going to get it or somebody in communications, I've had to create a template for them. It's just like, I got to organize it and get it, even highlight it like red, don't go to this folder, green, stay in this. So, just try to simplify it as much as possible so they don't come back and say, oh, I messed up this whole thing. It's like,
Yeah, no, Ryan Nix, who works for the Colts now, he really made that a point for us. He was here for Syracuse football for like half a season or something, and all of his files for communications were named no touchy. So like that's how I name all my files that are going to anybody else. It's like, do not like complete red, like don't touch this group, like I swear.
It's like it starts turning into like directions on the folder. It's like put your picture here, type in the player's name here. It's like I have to be that, because I do not like they'll find a way to mess it up and it just ruins everything. It's like, oh my gosh.
But even if you lock everything down and color code it and all, it's like you get a message. How do you do this? How do you do
Exactly.
that? It's like I made it super easy for you. Like, but it's also like with the recruiting stuff. I saw some videos. I don't remember who did it, but I think they had the characters, football characters with the jersey names in the back, and it was the whole thing was an action or one of those builds you can do, and that's like the most perfect way to kind of give that out to a client, because then they just fill out a box and it auto updates and everything. So that's a really cool thing.
Yeah. It's just.
We have a cool question. Yeah, who is the cooler Daniel and why?
I'm just gonna go ahead and take this one off the bat. I think that Daniel and I share coolness. I don't think it's a competition. I think that between the two of us, neither is better, right? Like it's equal parts Dan. And so I could be proven completely wrong, but I'm gonna extend an olive branch off the get-go to see what Daniel comes back with. So
I like that. I appreciate the effort. I was with you at the start, but I don't know if I would agree. When you look at someone as talented as me, I mean, it's mind-boggling, right? It's a no-brainer for me.
My mind is boggled.
See, that's what I'm saying. Listen, no, all jokes aside, we're like this, bro. You and me, we're like this.
It's like peanut butter and jelly.
2 minutes,
quite frankly.
or you guys want us to do the room?
The guys are so good that they can start blocking people.
Dan and I go way back. Dan and I have years together.
Do we?
Yeah, no, we don't. No, we don't.
Okay, I was about to say.
Not at all. No.
But I will say, Dan, you were at STN when this is like 2 years ago. I interviewed there for a junior designer position, and I think that was just like right. Do you remember that?
Man, I wonder who recommended you for that position.
My guy.
Oh, see? Okay.
We go back a little bit.
Yeah.
There you
go.
So who asked that question? I'm just curious.
Some guy named Nini Vardella.
Yeah.
I can't, whatever.
Not a cool name.
Not a cool name, quite frankly.
We have a lot of questions from Jordan, who's also a Dan, right?
Yeah.
Favorite
really
memory
wants
as
us
a
to
sports
answer
designer.
that question like really bad. He's asked it twice within the span of like 6 messages now.
Yeah.
So
I think
Cool.
I think that will be the Bulls final, the second three-peat, right? Because that was the best
Thank you so
moment.
much. Thank you. Are we talking about who's the cooler to Dan? Because I just got Sour Patch Kids delivered to me on a plate. So we can talk about cool, but
That doesn't necessarily mean you're cooler. That just means you're more privileged.
No, but
to have alcohol.
somebody is recognizing greatness out here.
listen.
I think there's one Dan. There's one Dan right now who's talking, and there's one Dan who isn't. So you just kind of have to pay attention to that.
The best way to end this would be the same Florida guy to enter the other Dan's room right now and bring him this out.
He came into my room.
That would be
be
so
awesome.
amazing if that actually happened.
Yeah.
The Dan dorm.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, so if anyone else is watching this super designers talk, you can send us more questions because
There's another one in here that says, in what ways has the nature of your work changed since coronavirus or just quarantine in general?
The Rona.
The Rona. For me, it really hasn't. Honestly, it's gotten busier, but everything still seems the same, at least work-wise. It's definitely different to like wake up over there and then just walk over here and that's it. That's like most of my movement every day, unless I go for a run or a walk. But for me, workload's kind of been the same. Maybe increased just because for us, digital, I work on the digital end, so digital is really the only way for us to communicate to our fans. So everything is flowing through us right now. So it's definitely been a big time uptick in workload.
Yeah, I dig the question. It's funny because I'm still taking classes and stuff online, at least right now. So with the influx of being a student and being pretty much kind of a junior designer, I'd call it, like a design intern or whatever. It's a really interesting workload, but I actually picked up an internship. I'm working with Sports Illustrated now over the summer, so it's like balancing that internship and then the design position at Syracuse and classwork, all that stuff. And I get to basically sit down, put on a blanket, and just sit at my desk all day.
Did you need a forklift for that name drop right there, Noah?
I was trying to make it go under the radar.
Invest in Noah now. Stocks are about to rise.
Did.
Graduate in 2021. If anybody's interested.
Well, for me, the work kind of changed. Like at the beginning, it was kind of like no one knew what was going to happen. So I had no idea, being a freelancer, what would actually be coming from the whole Corona crisis. But I kind of adjusted to kind of a different workload, and I spent more time with my family. Like actually, not like saying only that and then not doing it. And I kind of treated myself more to the mental part of everything, because the more you sit at home and you don't know if your next project is coming, you kind of have to refocus and get into like the different flow of things. So I really invested in those things, like aside from just doing the work. And I think that's crucial, because a lot of the stuff comes with mental health and the whole approach to your work. And if there is no work, or if there is too much work, you have to balance that stuff out. So during the last 3 months, I definitely did a lot more work with that. Also gained a lot of weight during the pandemic and everything. So I started running and walking a lot more recently, and I'm really happy with the progress, because it's like, take out some beers, and then take out, and then you just look in the mirror and you don't recognize the person there. So I think
I
I
took
woke
the
up.
opposite approach to Darius there. I just started eating my feelings more than I normally do. And I'm okay with that. And my wife is okay with that. And if she's okay with it, that gives me the green light.
Right.
But
Well-
I took this time to kind of, I got lucky in that I had ongoing contracts and projects kind of like, even though it was at a significantly lower level than I'm used to, it was still, I was still working and I was still bringing in income. So I took the opportunity of being less busy to kind of just extend my network and reach out to more people and connect with more people and try and just help others during this time. You know, I'm really lucky that I was able to have income over the last 3 months at all. And so I wanted to kind of flip the tables a little bit and do what I could to help others. So that's been really nice for me to be able to do that and give back a little bit.
Yeah,
I
same,
want-
same for
oh.
me. It was kind of like I don't have to worry about meeting people in meetings all the time now, and you know, I could just really focus on, because I mean, this first year at UTSA was just like a whirlwind. Like I couldn't really just, we were doing so much to just keep the brand afloat and like change it, but not completely overhaul it. So it's like now I've been able to just like really focus on the brand, figure out how we're going to condense it, simplify it, you know, refine it, not trying to, you know, reinvent the wheel, but, you know, really clean it up and make it look as professional as possible. And, you know, the same as with like Brian, is just really just had the time to network with all of you guys and people online and just really talk to people every day. And it's even just the conversation that we have on a weekly basis is like so much I've learned from Dan and Sammy and you know, everybody that we're talking to in our group, that it's like people don't see, like, you gotta take advantage of like really talking to everybody and trying to network, and it's really gonna, you know, fulfill that you know, that those needs that as designers that we need. Because I mean, the more we are together, the more we can be aware of what's going on in our community, and we can just like really like help each other grow in that way. But ultimately, it's just like I love the convenience, like Joe said, is like just being able to sleep right here and then wake up, go for a run or a walk, and then just start working. And then I can just go cook right there. You know, it's like, it's been beautiful for me. But yeah, it's really like, I think I've done some of the best work I've done during this time. So I've been very lucky that UTSA has stayed steady, and that's the kind of like the boundaries that had to change, because we're more digital now, like coaches and like staff feel like we had to start doing more, when it's like in our normal season we wouldn't be doing these certain kind of things, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like finding that dynamic of like, all right, well, were we going to do these like jersey name swap things, you know what I mean, or this other kind of stuff? But other than that, like, you know, the work has been steady to really refine UTSA and try to build it up.
Cool. Let's see what else is in here. Favorite memory as a sport designer? I think, did we do that one yet?
We did. I think we did.
Oh,
Well, not today, but I think in the past we have. We can do it again, huh?
anybody have a cool one?
35,000 in the dome, Duke versus Syracuse. Always a fun time.
Big karaoke with a couple of pitchers at the Diamondbacks.
Nice.
What did you guys sing?
We sang "Living on a Prayer," which was oh shoot, what's his name now? I can't.
Just start singing. Just start singing.
It'll come back
no.
to you.
No.
Whoa.
JJ Putz. JJ Putz. It's JJ Putz and Josh Colementer, who were pitchers with the Diamondbacks at the time. And Putz, he told me that "Living on a Prayer" was his walk-up song when he was at Michigan. So that was kind of fun. It was at the Diamondbacks company Christmas party. Colementer was definitely
that's
my
the
favorite
best.
person.
That's the best sports memory. The Christmas party.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was so much fun.
You're
Commenter-
You're
Commenter
definitely
was
not for sports.
I mean, if you want to talk like actual sports memories, I haven't worked for a team that was actually good, so that's not fair. No, okay, that's not true. I did get to be on the field for Wayne Rooney's debut at DC United and the opening of Audi Field. So that, from a sporting standpoint, that was probably one of the cooler things I've gotten to do. But yeah, definitely karaoke at the company Christmas party is my overall favorite as a designer in the sports industry, getting to do karaoke with two players. Commenter that night was wearing this like burgundy colored turtleneck, was wearing candy cane suspenders with a corduroy blazer with like leather elbow patches and double fisting beers the entire night. It was epic.
Incredible.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
So they had like all the players at the Christmas party with you guys and stuff like that.
No, all the players were invited, but only a handful showed up. I remember it was Puts and Cole Minter showed up. Miguel Montero showed up. Some of the other less significant players showed up who weren't as prominent on the roster. But the big one was Paul Goldschmidt was there and stayed the entire time. And I actually ended up in line behind him for, in the drinks line. And he turns around and he goes, "Hey, how's it going?" "Good, how are you?" "Oh, good. I'm Paul." And I was like, "I know." He was super, super nice, super down to earth. So definitely made me a Paul Goldschmidt fan for life.
That's so
This
funny.
is
I have
good.
another Christmas story. Oh,
Oh
Dan.
no, hey,
You
by
wanna
all,
go?
Dan,
Dan.
you the I'll let the superior Dan go first. Actually, go for it. Go for it.
It's along the same lines because it's a Christmas story. I'm almost at a loss when I tell this because I can't believe it actually happened. My butler Jordan Harold, who lives with me, he works for the Hornets, and when he worked for the Hornets, they had works. I caught myself. They have, first of all, Jordan throws these crazy Christmas parties every year, right? Whether it's Jordan being there or players being there or some celebrity is there, it's almost like there's a standard for these parties, right? So I remember the night when he went to his party, he right before he left, he was like, "All right, man, I'm gonna be out for a couple hours. I'm going to this Christmas party." I was like, "All right, cool. Do you be safe, whatever." A couple hours later, I see he posted a few things on his Snapchat story. I click on his Snapchat story. Jordan is on stage dancing and singing, recording himself with Flo Rida. I'm not even kidding. Flo Rida was on stage and Jordan was up there dancing and singing with him. And I'm like, dude, what? How is this real?
That's
I can't believe it to this day.
They were singing "Living on a Prayer" together.
Exactly. Yeah.
The remix.
Anyway, sorry.
You just let your butler go out and like just party like that? Like what's
Yeah. It was Christmas.
He gets a night off.
that's
You get
fair.
to make off.
Once a month or something, right? Like
You're a good guy, Dan. You're a good
Fine,
guy.
but yeah.
That's his annual day off.
Yeah.
So all of the sports designers are there for parties,
What else
And
is
now-
there in this industry?
and now everyone's at home for months.
I don't
Oh, yeah.
have a cool story like that. I just have I have this one moment where I kind of realized like, oh my God, I'm actually here. Was when I was working with the Chargers, I was helping out the team photographer lead their media day, and I was shooting behind the scenes shots for the website. And I remember the team photographer turned around to me and he handed me a sleeve and he said, "Hey, can you go give this to Melvin? He's in the locker room." I was like, "Melvin Gordon?" He was like, yeah, just go walk in and hand it to him. I was like, okay. So I walk into the locker room, and as I walk into the locker room, Tyrod Taylor sees me. He passes me. He's like, "What's up, man?" He gives me a fist bump. I feel so out of place already. I'm like 5'4". I'm like this miniature kid. It looks like my mom just dropped me off for my first day of elementary school. All of the players are looking at me like, who is this guy and why is he in our locker room, bro? And I walk up to Melvin Gordon, never felt smaller in my entire life. And I handed him his sleeve. He was like, thanks, man. And to this day, I that was the moment where I was like, wow, I'm actually here.
If I had to rebuttal or fix mine, I would probably say it was the North Carolina game this year when Tom Brady, Jimmy Kimmel, I think it was, or Jimmy, no, it was Jimmy Fallon, and Julian Edelman sat courtside. And I remember in like the way back, I ended up meeting Fallon, but it was funny because I walked past Brady, and I have never smelled like something so excellent in my life. I don't know what it was. It wasn't like freshly cut grass or anything like that. It was like I can't describe it.
It was greatness.
Yeah, I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Was it deflated footballs?
Yeah, he smelled like deflated footballs.
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
would be
then show us.
Speaking of balls, I'm gonna take that transition into
Very
my
well
favorite
done.
sports moment. I
Hey,
have to plug it. It's my ball. It's my very own ball. I
Nice.
designed it. It's cool making stuff for social media, but it's different when you get something physical that you can
I'll golf clap that as
Mhm.
well.
That's fact.
How
you know,
many of
so-
those do you get?
As many as I want, unlimited virtually. So I chose.
Send,
This is
send
the
one
one.
to me.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'll just
hook it up.
go it over Gdansk. I don't even know how you say it, but
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did nice.
hell yeah. So this is
Hey.
cool. It's just cool that thousands of people get to play with my ball, right? That's my dream.
Are they
right?
actually playing or did they get canceled?
Yeah, unless they
hasn't-
close everything down again. The most
Hasn't been
unplayed
canceled
ball
yet.
ever.
No.
What was the
these-
process for that, Dan? Like going through that?
So they
They reach
hit
out
me
to
up.
you?
Yeah. So I mean, I knew their office, their front office, from having been a student at Gonzaga and obviously working for Gonzaga. And they reached out and they were like, "Hey, we'd love for you to be the ball designer this year." And it was the first year that they had actually outsourced the design from Nike headquarters in the 31 years that they've been doing
Nice.
this. And so it was a cool, unique opportunity to be able to jump on as someone who they hit me up right as I was moving to Spokane initially. And it took, I would say, like 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month tops, just from start to finish, just because they've been doing it for so long. It was basically like design it. Here's the template. We send it off to Nike kind of thing. And then a couple months later, they were like, yeah, this is crazy. Nike had no edits. Like, they loved your ball. Let's go. And so here we are.
You know that put you on Nike's radar, right?
He was
I'm
there.
not counting. I'm not counting that 500 people from Nike have looked at my LinkedIn profile. I don't.
Hey.
I mean, that's just who cares? But
Let's bring that forklift back for the
yeah, exactly. I got to go pick it up from Sports Illustrated actually. So
Welcome back.
So it used to be Tyson Fury singing American Pie in front of my design banner, but it's been since upgraded to this basketball.
Very nice.
Very cool, man.
Nice.
It's you cannot beat that. Like whatever sports story I had, it's like fuck it. On to
Well,
the
I
next
mean,
one.
that goes into like, I think, and I was talking to an old friend of mine who I started off in graphic design with him, and it's like, athletics has such a different vibe when you like get to go to the live events and you're like at a game and you get to see people interacting with your stuff, whether it's a poster, whether it's a roster card or it's a brochure or something. And if you like, for us, like it's we do game day experience, so like we handle everything from like video board graphics to intro video and working together to get the lights right and everything. So it's like, yeah, it's really dope to like see you're working hard during the week, and then when you get to the game, and then we get to go to like the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, and it's huge, and it's like the lights are going and everybody's getting hyped. But you can't, in athletics, like as a designer, you can't beat that. That's the closest to me. Like I used to play basketball a lot, so it was like that's the closest you get back to that feeling of like, yeah, like I'm about to score the winning bucket or something. It's like it's I haven't had like that celebrity moment yet, but yeah, it always, to see the fruits of your labor at the end of the week, you can't beat that.
I would agree with that. Like that's what gets me fired up still. like Dan, your ball, I'm sure like the coolest part is going to be getting to see the actual players hoop with it. Like that's going to be the coolest part of that whole thing. And I'm sure it's,
Right.
you know, it's going to be a retail piece as well. So people are going to go and buy that ball, which
It's
is
available for purchase right now at SpokaneHoopFest.net/shop. All proceeds
Nice.
go towards Spokane Hoop Fest, which is a 501c3
Dope.
organization dedicated towards bringing basketball to the city of Spokane.
It's limited to 500,000.
I regret giving you that plug. Anyway, no, I mean, for me, it's seeing that stuff out in the real world. You know, a uniform you design, a logo you design, or anything really. Even just, for me, it's as silly as like going out and seeing a feather flag on the street sign. It's like, hey, there's my feather flag.
Yeah.
Like I still get fired up about silly stuff like that, or fucking pocket schedule. Like just seeing it out in the world to me is cool.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about all, you know, we obviously wouldn't be in this conversation without connecting with each other. And with that being said, it's funny to see how, I mean, all of your work has progressed. So it's cool to hear from you guys, your connections to sports and stuff like that. Because I remember when I was in high school, talking to Darius about something, we were Skyping or something, and you had sent me like
Crazy.
mock Vince Carter pictures, and he was like, do something with these. And you were just
Nice.
watching me do something, and it was like, just to think about, that was maybe like 5 years ago or something. It's like all these connections come full circle. I've known Dan for so long. It's nuts.
I don't even remember that, but it's cool that, you know, that there's a cool story about me. No, but I think it's crucial, like to help people out. You know, it's for you, like you say, you remember that, and it might be 30 minutes or something, and it won't really change your day in a way that you won't get your actual work done or whatever. But some people can actually gain some knowledge from that. So, like, you know, talking and doing that stuff, or sending out a PSD, or, you know, just DMing people when they have like a legitimate question, you know, not being a, you know, douchebag about anything. I think that's the positivity goes a lot further than the negativity does, really.
Definitely.
Darius, I'm going to be honest. I remember, I don't remember exactly how I got into the industry, but I do know that one of the sparks for me was, I think I saw one of your things on Instagram. It might have been for posterizes or whatever. I saw something of yours on Instagram, and still to this day, you are absolutely one of my favorite designers. You are incredible. And I don't even know if I would be here if it wasn't for you. Like if I didn't find your stuff, I don't know what I would be doing right now.
I don't know who's cutting onions over here, man. Come on, guys, come on. But Dan, do you remember when you sent? I was doing Anthony Davis collaboration with you, and you said, "Oh, I'm sending the PSD, but you won't see how I do the manipulations." And I'm like, "Dude, you converted that to a smart layer." I'm
And
in
I didn't
there
even
like,
know what a smart layer was. That's how
was-
old, yo.
I was like a mousy
Crazy.
cheese, man. I was like looking, okay, so this is the curse. This.
There you
How does
go.
he do that? And I'm like, yeah, I got those trade
It's all in
secrets.
the exposure adjustment layer. That's the key.
No, man, it's all in you. It's that talent. It's
Hold on, wait. It's in the what? What, Dan? What's
All right, y'all. Well, thanks for jumping on here and talking. Definitely a good combo. But I think we'll stop the live stream now and just hang on here for a second.
Sounds
Thanks,
good.
guys.
Thanks.
thanks.